Going solo tonight, folks. Of course. Hey, welcome to the Burning River Browns Talk. It is Friday night, 9 o'clock. Yep, that's right. It is time for the Burning River Browns Talk here on the Fanatical Elves Network, a subsidiary of the Fans First Sports Network. Thank you for joining us. All right, here we go. We got some Nicole reposted this stream. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate it. Always. Nicole Blaha, great person. Love her. Thank you. Hey, guys, I'm here. I'm on my own. Sherry's not available tonight, so I'm going solo. I might have a few people pop in while we do this, but we're here for tonight. We're here to talk about some Brown stuff. We'll talk about Shedeur Sanders, the parking tickets, speeding tickets. Yeah, parking. Yeah, he has unpaid parking tickets now. That's I'm going to start a new rumor. We're also going to talk about the Brown Stadium fight because they were in court today, and with the latest on that, city's trying to keep them in downtown, but I don't think the Art Modell law is going to apply, and I'll tell you why. Also, we got other things to talk about too. Oh, I love you too. Thanks, Nicole. Always. Hey, it was great meeting you at the Journey concert. It was great meeting you. Awesome. Hey, I'm going to explain what I'm wearing. This was a Father's Day gift. Not the hat, just the jersey. And if you pay attention, it is the Wild Thing Ricky Vaughn. And all I remember was my wife was scrolling through her phone. Yep. Oh, awesome. Great, Nicole. My wife was scrolling through her phone, and I happened to be next to her, and I saw the ad for this, which you've probably seen them, this jersey that was available. And I said, oh, that'd be pretty cool to have. That's all I said. Didn't even think about it after that again. And for Father's Day, my daughters made me cards. And they said, we got you a jersey, Daddy. And I'm like, oh, cool. So it is an authentic 1989 Ricky Vaughn Cleveland Indians jersey from the movie Major League, who is known as the Wild Thing. Yep. So this will be my official podcasting jersey. It is a Brown show, but I am wearing Indian stuff. I got my old Chief Wahoo hat out. It's awesome. Hey, thanks, MC Lawrence. Thank you. Yeah, Sherry will be back next week. She was family stuff today. Yes, the kids are the best. Yes. And my daughters are awesome. I love them. And hey, it was great to meet Hayden when I was there too. One of these days I'll get to meet Isaiah, your other son. But awesome, guys. Hey, let's talk about this. And I'm going to go over some things with you in regards to the stadium. But going back to 1989, let me bring up a little story to you. And this is fact. I was 16 years old at the time. And in May of 1989, Cuyahoga County voted on a sin tax for an increase in alcohol and tobacco to pay for the Gateway Project, which turned out to be now is Rocket Arena and Progressive Field. So the commissioner of Major League Baseball came and told the city of Cleveland and told the voters of Cuyahoga County, you either pass this and build a new stadium for the Cleveland Indians, or else we're going to move the team. Hand to God, that's what happened. That thing passed. That ballot initiative passed 51 to 49%. Very narrow. Okay, that's very narrow. It's a couple thousand votes either way. Could have completely changed Cleveland sports history, and the Cleveland Indians could have gone somewhere else. So that happened. 16 years before that, 1973, Art Modell prevented the Indians from moving by taking over Cleveland Municipal Stadium. And he was paying for everything in the Municipal Stadium, including the upkeep. But in return, he was getting revenue from the Indians and their concessions because that's what they were doing as tenants. That's how it was getting by. So when the Indians left after that new ballpark was built for them, and Art Modell was at the stadium, He lost all that revenue in 1994. The plan was in place years before that for him to relocate because Cleveland wasn't building him another stadium where they could have included him or they could have tried to. Now, I've heard stories say people said that Art Modell didn't want anything to do with that. That's not true. He wanted to build a football stadium in Cleveland. He wanted that. There was rumors flying around. There was things flying around about him purchasing land in Strongsville, but it didn't happen, or just something like it was used as leverage. But come 1995, everything came to a head, and we were trying to work a deal out with him to renovate the current stadium, but it was the stadium was 60 years old. It was falling apart. It was built on a landfill. It wasn't a good building. It needed to be completely torn down. But just before we were voting on an expansion of the Syntax to remodel the current stadium, Art Modell announced the move of the Cleveland Browns to the city of Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore lost their team 11 years before that, and they were the Baltimore Colts, and the Colts moved to Indianapolis. So that move got announced. No, I'm not going to the bowling event. I have my daughter's birthday party tomorrow. Sorry, Nicole. So Art Modell brought football back to Baltimore, but there was a problem with that. He still had 3 years left on the lease. That lease didn't expire until 1999, and it was an airtight lease, and he was going to be stuck there as a lame duck team for 3 years, and he was completely broke. He needed to make the move to survive with his business. So what happened, or what's going to happen? What this led to was the NFL got involved with the city of Cleveland and Art Modell, and a deal came through where they allowed Art Modell to leave, but he left the Cleveland Browns name. He left the Cleveland Browns history. He left the Cleveland Browns colors. That's never left Cleveland. That never left Cleveland. Cleveland was promised a team by 1999. But what we had to do at City of Cleveland in return had to build a new stadium. That's the stadium we have now, which is the current Huntington Bank Field. That deal was done in February of 1996. And that stadium had to be ready in essentially 3.5 years. So they had to completely tear it down and rebuild it from the start. And they had to to save time. They had to build it on the old foundation, which is over 90 years old now. So that stadium that's sitting there now is on an over 90-year-old foundation. That's how we got here. And the Cleveland Browns the city of Cleveland, was not awarded an expansion franchise until September of 1998. So they were given 10 months to put together a team. Plus the reins were pulled in because Jacksonville and Carolina were successful early. They made playoff appearances. They were pretty successful early. We didn't get that opportunity in 1999. 1995, those were the inauguration years of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers. The next expansion team after that was the Houston Texans, and I believe that was 2002, 2001, around that time. So those were the teams. So that's kind of like how it happened, or how we had the layout of the NFL as we currently see it. So we were given an expansion team that wasn't set up to succeed from the start. And essentially what happened to the Cleveland Browns in 1996 was a death penalty. Now, Art Modell was wrong it wasn't wrong for moving necessarily. He was wrong for the way he moved and how he announced it, and the shenanigans he tried to pull. If we did not pass that extension of the Syntax the next day after he announced the move to Baltimore, because it passed by 80-20, everybody said, we passed this, we can keep the team. With that passing and him having 3 years on the lease, he went to court. He didn't have a leg to stand on. So that opened the door for him to negotiate, or else he would have collapsed financially and the Cleveland Browns wouldn't have existed. So as we speak today, so the Cleveland Browns that exist today, and all the 2 decades prior, I'm going to go from 1999 through 2019, those 20 years where we only had 2 winning seasons, 1 playoff appearance. Okay. We've had in 5 years, 2 winning seasons, 2 playoff appearances, and a playoff victory. Reasons, there's the years that we didn't make the playoffs. Last year was its own explanation. The year before, the 2022, you could say that had an explanation to it as well in 2021. But there's been more stability and probably more success if you want to consider making the playoffs and winning a playoff game being successful. And going into last year, the current regime, the Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski regime, actually had a winning record going into last year. And yet I still buy season tickets. Oh, love this team. Right. I'm explaining it. I mean, people just throwing up their hands and saying, well, how did we go? We stink. Why are we buying this? Keep in mind, in 1989, when the syntax was passed to build what is now today Progressive Field, the Cleveland Indians were an absolute joke. Nobody wanted to. There's a lot of people that did not want to build a new stadium for a crappy team. They didn't even come close to sniffing the playoffs, much less making the playoff appearance, 2 playoff appearances in 5 years and having a playoff victory. What there would be a series victory, advancing 1 round into the playoffs. Not even close. They didn't win anything since 1954, back when Bob Feller was the pitcher, was their number 1 starter. Okay. Yeah. The famous catch by Willie Mays was in the 1954 World Series, and we were swept by the New York Giants, the Willie Mays New York Giants. Yep, that's what happened that year. That was 1954. It was 19 years before I was born. Then all of a sudden, when the Indians got out from that stadium, they moved to what was then called Jacobs Field, which today is Progressive Field. In 30 years, okay, 30 years, they've had 15 playoff appearances, okay, 12 division titles, 3 pennants, and twice went to Game 7 of the World Series into extra innings. Actually, I think they should have won at 95. They're just inexplicable how they sleptwalk into that series. But the key to it, yeah, not too shabby. The key to it, what made people fall in love with Jacobs Field or Progressive Field or where we're at, because it's gone through a lot of changes and a lot of things since then in 30 years. And any building would. Any building, you own a house for 30 years, it's not going to be the same when you first bought it. That stadium was, people loved it there for one reason and one reason only. The team started winning. So when Huntington Bank Field opens up in August of 2029, the factor that's going to make people fall in love with this place or not is going to be if the team wins. The reason why people really don't like this current stadium is, well, the team's not winning, but it's still the Browns. And we love the Browns. The Cleveland is a Browns town. It always will be. So that's the motion that tugged us. Now, a lot of people are against the stadium in Brook Park. People I've talked to, people I'm considering myself friends with. That's fine. You could disagree with it. The reason being, it's not because they don't want to pay taxes on it or the cost of it. They don't even care about the economics of it. Believe it or not, there's still money. Oh, there's still money being paid on Progressive Field at Rocket Arena. They were in debt when they had to build the new Huntington Bank Field in 1999. There's cost overruns for all this. That's not even it. People they don't look at the money or the economics. Like if you go up to somebody on the street and you ask them about the national debt, they don't think it affects them because they're not getting the statement in the mail every month being told, hey, this is how much you owe because of the government. Yeah. That there's a difference. There's a difference with that. Let me see. You got this one, Nicole. I'm from Central and I have no fight in this, just win. There you go. And who's this one? Yep. Reposted the stream. Thanks, big dog. Appreciate you, man. Thanks. Hey guys, no, seriously. It's Cuyahoga County. I don't even live in Cuyahoga County. I live in Geauga County. I'm in Russell Township, and the whole thing is people don't care about the economics of it. They just care about the game day experience that they would have because it's going to change. You when it comes down to 2029, we show up and it's like a brand shiny new building and we're inside and we're like, wow, it's December and we're not freezing our ass off. It's going to be different. It's going to be different. Absolutely. But if we're winning, we host a playoff game, we win a division, we host the AFC championship, and dare I say it, we go to the Super Bowl. We actually host a Lombardi trophy, just like LeBron hosted the Larry O'Brien trophy 9 years ago. I almost said 8 years ago. It's 2015. 2016 is when he did. It's 2025. I mean, if we start winning and we have the success that the Indians did, now Guardians, will we hate it? Probably not. There'll be people that hate it. I think the one person I talked to that just, he know what he wants to do? He wants to go. He wants to grill his food. He wants to drink his beer. He wants to tailgate the Muni lot. He wants to go to the games. And that's affordable for him because the prices are probably going to go up. But I guarantee you in 4 years, prices are going to be more expensive. There always are. Everything goes up. You have no idea what it's going to cost. But think about it. I can understand that. I totally see where they're coming from. 100%. Look, man, I got it. I got you. I understand. They really missed the thrill of wondering if my seat was behind a pole. I remember those days at the old Municipal Stadium because they already did. They already did. Yeah. No, I got it. I understand. You go to the game. You want to go to the game. You just want to, prices are going up. Prices are going up every year regardless. Prices went up the last 2 years that I've been a ticket holder. Prices have been up the last 2 years since I've been a season ticket holder. And I understand that. Ticket prices are the most concern, and also like not being able to tailgate. Because I remember going to those Indians games in the mid to late 90s, all the way to the early 2000s when it was the thing to do. And the crowd at those games was not the same crowd in the early 90s at the old Municipal Stadium. Not the same. You didn't see the yuppies showing up. They thought the Indians started playing in 95. They couldn't tell you who Tom Candiotti was. They couldn't tell you who Greg Swindell was or Brooke Jacoby or Corey Snyder. Maybe they might know who Joe Carter was. Yeah, Joe Carter played on the Indians before he played for the Blue Jays. Could they talk about Joe Charbonneau, Toby Harrah, when Mike Hargrove played first base for the Indians? Buddy Bell, Dwayne Kuiper. See, I'm naming names. I followed the team growing up. I can name names from the Browns of the 80s. The 80s, even the 70s. Brian Sipe, I think he came along in 78. Yeah, I talk about Brian Sipe, Don Cockcroft. I mean, these guys, You see that? Remember all those guys. Thank you. There's memories. Maybe we can make new ones. So what's going on in court today? There was a fiery back and forth from what I understood. I didn't see the footage. I saw a Fox 8 report. All right, let's just say I kind of went on how we got here and what's going on. The current lease the Browns are under expires. My understanding is February 1st, 2028. Or February 1st, 2029, the end of the 2028 season. Okay. So what that means is they just have to keep paying the rent as tenants. City of Cleveland owns the building. Once their lease is up, they're free to go where they want. The Art Modell law is protecting somebody from breaking their lease. So they're trying to say, the city of Cleveland's in court trying to say they're not honoring the lease, where the team is saying, we're not leaving until the lease is expired. We're going to pay it. We fully intend to complete what we're doing, but we're making plans to move. So it's almost like if you're renting an apartment and you're buying a house, then you're going to make plans to buy that house and you're going to have set everything in motion to say, okay, this is my last day on the lease. This is my last time I'm paying the rent. See ya. Thank you. Have a good life. It's pretty much a similar principle or thought process to it. So that's the Art Modell law is to prevent teams from breaking the lease and leaving. And they also have to give it an opportunity to sell to a local buyer, and they have to give the proper notice and everything else. So I think the Art Modell lawsuit by the city of Cleveland is a Hail Mary. I honestly, I don't think it's going to apply. I don't think it stands a chance in court. And the city of Cleveland, yeah, they might be losing the Browns, but the Browns are staying within the market. They're not leaving the county. They're still going to be called the Cleveland Browns, but they're going to play in Brook Park. They had 12 dates a year. 10, 12, maybe even, well, if you had some of the dates that the Haslam's were putting on with the AC/DC concert, the Journey concert, and everything else, you could have maybe about 15 dates a year that are happening downtown. There was a time for 3 years there wasn't Browns games. That was 1996, 1997, and 1998. A lot of you people might be too young to remember that. I do. Yeah, there wasn't any football. They were building that stadium in a rush. It's falling apart. The stadium is kind of symbolic of the team because the team was built in a rush. Wasn't built well, doesn't have a good foundation. Wasn't that it took like a complete breakdown, complete tear down and rebuild in 2016 and 2017. That's what the stadium needs. We just need to build new. And having an indoor stadium and attracting other events, it makes economic sense to do it. As much as I wouldn't want to sit in the dome, but you know what? It doesn't bother me to sit in a dome either. If the team's winning, if the team's losing, then nobody cares. It's not going to be a good thing. Because I remember the Cavaliers moved to that arena in 1995. 94, 95 was their first season, and they were okay. They're mediocre for a couple of years, and they made the playoffs in 98, lost in the first round to the Pacers. And then after that, after a couple of years, the team was terrible. Nobody cared. Nobody came down to watch them. Nobody liked that arena. They called it a corporate amphitheater. They preferred the Richfield Coliseum where they used to play, which I love that building. But it was all the way in Richfield. They were still called the Cleveland Cavaliers. They thought that people from Akron would be able to come to the games easier. But eventually they wanted them back downtown. And it happened. Same thing happened to the Detroit Lions. They went from the Pontiac Silverdome back to Ford's Field, and they're downtown. So, yeah, I could see that, but I can also see an economic opportunity for the city and the region. Let me see. Good evening, Lou. Oh, how you doing tonight? Where's Miss Sherry tonight? I hope you're doing well this week. Yeah, we are doing well. Sherry is she had an obligation, a family obligation, so she's fine. Everything's good. She'll be back next week. Everything's cool. So I'm going solo tonight. I reached out to a bunch of people to try to make it on. They're going to try to, but we'll see. I just figured I'd come on and just shoot the shit with you guys and talk. And I was bringing up the stadium and the Browns and what's going on. The latest news I heard, the only thing they're waiting on to hear is the $600 million from the state. It's just a matter of how they're going to do it. So in a sense, it's going to be a loan. People are screaming and pounding their chest. No taxpayer money, no taxpayer money. Well, there's not going to be taxpayer money. Not for this. It's going to be investment from the state and the county. But the state is willing to invest it from the unclaimed funds. And the money's been sitting there for over a decade. Get Hayden on. Okay. I don't know what you mean. We got to get Hayden on. We can, sure. But I did miss Sherry. Yeah. Okay. We all miss Sherry. Yeah. Yes. I'm Julius tonight. So back to it was there's three plans for the $600 million from the state. The first plan is from the House of Representatives, which was a bond to be lent to the Browns, and they paid back with the revenue from this facility. And they're arguing over the math and if it works out or not. The Browns have already put together a $50 million escrow account to cover any of the losses. Second plan was from Governor DeWine himself, which he had a doubling of the gambling tax increase on the companies, not the gamblers themselves. Went from 20% to 40%. That would pay for all sports facilities in the state of Ohio, which I thought that was interesting. Then the Senate came up with, I think is the best idea, and probably what they're going to go with is setting up a fund to loan out to teams with a plan and how they're going to pay it back to the state for the 1.7 billion set aside of unclaimed funds to use this to fund the state, to fund sports stadiums. So, people like the Cleveland Guardians, the Cavaliers, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Cincinnati Reds, they're going to be coming out with their hand out, and they can go to the state presenting their plan of what they're going to do with the money and how they'll pay it back. It's like going to the bank for a loan. You're going to be talking to them and say, okay, this is my loan. This is what we're going to do. And you have to have a way to send it back. And he said, I'm glad Sherry's doing well. Totally understand wanting to be with family. Yep. Yeah. She said, this is Hayden. I'm sad that Nick Chubb not here anymore. Yeah, Hayden. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry too. I'm sad he's not going to be there. But hey, maybe we have Nick Chubb. I wish him the best. I'm sad too. But not everything lasts forever, guys. It doesn't. Sometimes you got to go with changes, even changes you don't like. Let's keep moving here. Back to what the state I think is going to do. I think they're going to go with the Senate plan. We will know in 10 days. That budget's due by June 30th. All three budget proposals have the money for the Browns in there. I think they're going to go with what the state has to do, what the Senate has to do, because that way it'll take care of all sports facilities, including minor league teams. You got your Toledo Mud Hens, you got your Lake County Captains, your Akron Rubber Ducks, all of them, all professional sports facilities. So that'll be great. And I love it. So I think it's going to happen. And now there's also talk that Cuyahoga County council members could override the veto of Chris Ronan. In other words, Chris Ronan's pretty staunch. He doesn't want to leave downtown, and he has his reasons. It's more not economic. It's more emotional, which I can understand that. You want to have that, hey, I was at that game against the Steelers that Thursday night the week before Thanksgiving. I was there. I remember I was at that, man. It was a snow globe game. It was fun, but I was sitting there thinking, like, it was really cold. The wind was blowing and the snow was blowing. I'm sitting there thinking, like, yeah, dome might not be a bad idea. I was joking with people and they were laughing, but I was there. I understand. I've been to the cold games. I've been to a lot of cold games, but I've never sat in a dome at a game. I would like to. I wouldn't bother me. I think I'm going to keep my season tickets until one season into the dome, and we'll take it from there. And let's see, can my hometown, St. Clairsville High School, get a new stadium? They need one badly. Well, I think that this plan is for professional sports teams, not for high schools. Or I'm guessing St. Clairsville. Is that a public or a parochial school? If it's a public school, there might be a levy for that. Yeah, they only need like $2 million to get it done. It could happen. Yeah, so many cold games. That's true. Lots of cold games, guys. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Like I said, the X factor in this whole thing is going to be if they're winning or not. So in 10 days, pretty much the money's going to come to the Browns in the Haslam Sports Group. They plan on breaking ground first quarter 2026. The land's already cleared. There's already pre-construction happening with the city of Brook Park. They're planning the infrastructure. They're planning everything. There's a lot of misinformation out there about it, saying parking's going to be $150. That's not true. They're not going to allow the Rapid to get to the stadium. That's not true because it's going to be right across the street from the airport, and the Rapid Transit will take you to the airport. The buses will take you to the airport. It was actually a perfectly picked location because of the airport. And sometime, I'd say within the first 3 or 4 years of that stadium opening, they're going to host a Super Bowl. And the reason why the commissioner met with Ohio lawmakers was the first thing they asked was, are we going to be able to get a Super Bowl in Ohio? He said the building's sufficient, but you need to build more hotels. And that's a part of the plan. That's the whole complex in itself. So I could talk about the stadium more now, because when Sherry's here, she doesn't like to talk about stadiums. Probably when we're on next week on the 27th, we're going to know for sure, because it's just a matter of them passing it and the governor signing it, and the check's going to go over to the Browns. And I think with this lawsuit, the city of Cleveland's going to ask the Browns to help with the demolition and clearing out of that stadium. And the city of Cleveland has an opportunity to develop that lakefront and really make something of it. And I hope they do. I think it's a win-win for everybody if it's possible. Excuse me. Sorry. Now, keep in mind, if the people are that staunch and they don't want to go to games, you don't have to. Nobody's making you. Nobody's making you. He's saying public, they won't pass levies here. Well, they might have to. Hey, I'm about to welcome on my friend Ethan. Give me 1 second. Ethan popped on. Ethan, how you doing?
Hey, I'm all right. How you doing, Lou?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining. Are you in a Costco? What are you?
No, I'm at a Myers in Columbus.
Oh, okay. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, no problem. We're just walking off a little post-dinner, post-long car ride day. Went to the Quaker Steak and Lube, and
nice.
We just thought we'd stretch our legs a little bit, and I thought, hey, if I can walk and talk at the same time and annoy people, I'm doing my job, right?
Yeah, that's right. But here you go. So Nicole on here. I have Nicole commenting. She went to Indy when it was cold. It was nice. We're talking about the stadium with the Browns, and I'm wearing my 1989's Ricky Vaughn Wild Thing jersey because my family gave it to me as a Father's Day gift. So I got to wear it. It's my podcasting jersey now.
I like it.
Yeah, I think they'll, Nicole. I think they will have handicap parking accommodations. I think this is going to be a state of the art place. I think when they build that stadium.
What items should I buy, Lou? Should I just,
thank you.
I'm just going to start picking up items here, and maybe I can.
Buy the Buckeyes. Was that a tumbler or what is it? A coffee cup?
Yeah, it's a tumbler. It's not a Tervis, or anything. It's very nice, very nice. I'm sure it's expensive. I don't need anything that great.
Hey, but, announcer guy Drew just asked how you're doing tonight.
How am I doing tonight? I'm terrible. Thank you.
He's terrible. Yeah.
I'm terrible. No, it's $30. Yeah. So that's look at this. $30. I don't know if I'm getting the tag here or not.
$30? Yeah, I see it. $29.99. Come on, be more specific.
But we're not going to have any pennies anymore. I don't know how.
Yes. Hey, before you joined the show, I was Julius. Did you know that?
I did know that you were if your name was Joe Jackson, it would be Julius Joe Jackson.
Julius Joe Jackson. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, what's your take on this? Because I didn't get to this yet. I just went this whole thing about the 1989 Indians, and I went into how we voted for, Gateway, and then how the Browns got to where they're at, and how we got here, and here we are. Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders. He has a lead foot.
He does, and I want to. And so actually, I'm really glad that I get a chance to talk to you about this.
Okay.
Because
just between us and the whole viewing audience.
Yeah. No, because people are pissed off of reporters, and the fact of the matter is they're reporting what was on the court website. It said he had a failure to appear. So stop shooting the messenger. You want to shoot somebody?
Yeah.
You're pissed off with a guy who's got the lead foot and does 101 and a 60 and a 95 and a 65. Give me an effing break. Quit trying to defend
those are two reckless operations. You could lose your license. We would lose our license if we did that. Right.
Exactly.
Right. Well, then maybe you should have somebody drive them. I don't know. Hey, she asked, Nicole just asked, which Myers are you at? Which one?
In Columbus, on Polaris, near Polaris.
Near Polaris, Nicole. He's on near Polaris. I haven't been to Columbus in a long time. $30 for that? You said yes, Drew. That was $30 for an Ohio State tumbler.
Oh, how much is Garfield?
How much is Garfield?
I don't know.
Ninja Turtle Garfield. It's a Ninja Turtle Garfield.
Dude, look at this thing. He's like Michelangelo. He's got the pizza cutter and the pizza.
She's like, oh, okay. She's on the east side. She's on the east side of Columbus.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're just stopping in for the night before we head up to.
It better be a Yeti. I don't think that was a Yeti. Well,
where in the background?
No. The Yeti. No. He's in no.
No, it was
Ohio
not.
State thing.
But yeah, so then we're headed up to Toledo tomorrow for one of my niece's high school graduation parties, and then we'll be head down to Cleveland Monday.
You've loaded up the family truckster with Clark Griswold.
Yes, in fact, you know what, we did some Mad Libs at the Quaker Steak and Lube, and we were talking about driving in our smelly. We were in our semi truck instead of our station wagon because it was smelly and full of and made booger sounds. I don't remember what it was. It turned out pretty good, Mad Libs.
We could go back to Mr. Shedeur Sanders. He was at the softball game yesterday. Everybody was Yeah.
I saw that, and I think that like and hopefully my signal's all right here, Lou. But you know, I didn't. I know that it was kind of him talking on the field with his whoever that other. I think they said it was Doughboy or something. I don't know who the clown was, but the fact that he was laughing, I'm just a kid, I'm just a little boy. Are you dude? You know they're recording you, and to say that comes off really bad.
Oh,
you're
oh yeah. I didn't even watch anything about the softball game. I saw people posting clips. What context was he saying that? Was he being facetious?
the
You
guy.
think?
Well, okay, the other fella next to him was talking to him, and he's like, said something about like, just talking. He's like, oh, I'm just a little boy, But then he said, I made some bad choices, and I learned my lesson, and I learned from them. So he did say that, but the first line, it's like, what did you say to him? Why are you even joking like that? It was just ridiculous.
Cringy,
But
very cringy. Probably thought it was funny,
was
but it wasn't.
no,
Yeah.
it was not. So I don't know. I was a little bit perturbed with that, and I'm just perturbed with people attacking our reporters. I'm really angry about that because
Hmm.
you only can report on what the news is, and if people don't want to be in the news, don't do anything stupid. How about when Kareem Hunt got pulled over
Oh
and they
yeah, he
had
was
video of
wasted.
that? Well,
He
right.
was wasted.
So
Yeah, I mean, at least
I mean,
Shador wasn't drunk or anything. And
exactly. So they're simply reporting the story.
yeah, well, it's what the court said. That's what from
Yeah,
what I heard, that's what the
yeah,
court it said on the court website.
yeah. It
And but
did.
if he had a bench warrant and he got pulled over 2 weeks later, he would have been arrested.
Right, and he didn't, and that's fine. But the court said they didn't even know about that first one, which is the one that said failure to appear. And so the fact that it literally said failure to
Hey,
appear.
I
So
reposted this stream. Check it out.
woohoo.
They just need they just need more mentorship. They need people to tell them don't do silly stuff. Yeah. Well, okay, let's put your hands up if you're ever 23 years old and you did something stupid. There we go. Oh yeah. Yeah. Mine usually involves like, it's pretty good stories in my later years, but
Yeah,
I've done
mine are
stupid shit.
generally foot and mouth disease. Generally, mine are foot and mouth disease.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's go back to
anyway,
analyzing shorts and helmets practice video.
yeah,
Let's
exactly.
go back
No,
to that.
I would love to hear nothing for the next few weeks, and
It's not gonna
hopefully
happen.
it's all good. It's gonna be, there'll be something or one thing after another, but again,
Yeah.
I hope that this all goes away quietly, and in fact there are some lessons learned. I heard something that was said on the on either, as I was listening on the road, either on Really Big Show on ESPN Cleveland or The Next Level, talking about somebody posted that he's got a driver or something, and I don't know if that is the case or not, but again,
Is it Morgan Freeman? That's a driving Miss Daisy reference.
You got me there. You got me there.
Boy, that was an old movie reference from anybody
It,
got that.
it was an old reference. It absolutely was. But
yeah.
So again, I just hope that it goes away, and that at the end of the day, it really is going to matter what he does on the field.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is a blip on the radar, and it should.
I think it's going to be nothing. It's not going to be much of anything. You just keep your nose clean. You're going to be fine. And it's like that one story too about the that Rolls Royce, when I didn't believe it when I heard it because I knew he couldn't afford it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's just a bunch of nonsense. So I do agree. Like, we don't need.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, Nicole saying she has a 28-year-old. Yes, Isaiah. Yep. I was doing stupid stuff in my 30s. Yeah, nice bikes in the background, Ethan. You buying any of those? You buying a bike?
Yeah, I'm gonna ride it back to Virginia, Drew.
Hey, let's take a moment here, and we're gonna pause for a word from our sponsors. We'll do that right now. All right. How about them sponsors? Thank you. All right. Hey, check out the sponsor of the show. Click on the link in the details of the show, Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. Yep. Click on the link, order up some coffee. Tell them Lou sent you. Awesome. Hey, I love it. Bluey, I have kids. I know what Bluey is. Oh God, which one
Isn't
is
that
that?
Bing? Is this Bingo?
Is that Bingo? Is that
It is
Bingo?
Bingo.
Yeah.
My kids were past the Bluey when it came out, but
No, my kids are starting to outgrow it a little bit. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at it. Announcer Drew. Announcer guy Drew knows Bluey.
well, good.
Dude, dude,
Good,
dude,
good,
dude,
good.
dude. I was hearing that in my sleep because my kids watched it all the time. I
Oh
was
my
like,
God. Yeah, I don't know. We watched a lot of stuff, but like I said, that was kind of when my kids got a little bit older. We were busy watching Bubble Guppies and
yeah.
Team Umi Zumi.
Well, Disney
Those sorts of
Junior
things.
stuff. The PJ Mask was a big one when I was my
Yes,
kid.
PJ Masks. Yes, PJ Masks. That was pretty good. I
Oh,
enjoyed those. So
hey, guess what? Guess what? We got another guest. We got another guest. It's official. It's official. Steve's on the show. Steve, you're on the air, man. How you doing? I see the top of your head.
Whoa, geez. What's going on, fellas?
Well, we're officially having a threesome now. So
oh no, well that
what?
that-
What?
that's
What?
one too many. That's one too many.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yes. The show was Jewless until Ethan showed up, but we're cool.
Yeah. Well, So good. Now I'm getting. I don't want to be catching football passes. I don't think this would work well here in the store. Now I'm saying.
How can we join? I'm Nicole. I'll have to send you the link.
So
Good evening, Steve. How are you doing this evening?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, anyway, you know what, Lou, I'm gonna pop off here, hang with the
Pop
kids.
off.
But I wanted
Thanks,
to.
brother. Thanks for coming on.
You're
Much
welcome.
appreciated.
Glad
Are you
I
in
could
Cleveland
be
now?
on.
He's
What's
in Columbus.
Are you in Cleveland now, or?
Columbus.
No, I'm in Columbus. We're headed up to Toledo tomorrow for
Gotcha.
my niece's graduation party. So this is just a stop on the way. Be in Columbus by Monday, so that I can go to Jack's Deli and get some beef sandwich and pickles.
Yeah, your signal's breaking up a little bit. Cool, man. Hey, did you have something to say before? Did we interrupt you or anything? Okay.
No.
I want to make sure you got all your thoughts.
No, I did. All right, y'all. We'll talk to you later. Okay. Have a good night.
Hayden has to show you his jersey he just put on. Okay, hold on a second. Hang on. All right, see you, Ethan. I'll let you go.
See ya.
See you, Ethan.
All right. Hang on, Nicole. I'm going to get you the link. Just give me a moment here. Go ahead. Talk to me, Steve. And he said,
Hey,
then
how's it
Ethan,
going?
he said goodbye. Oh, I'm going good, man. I just did a whole thing. I'm wearing the.
I was gonna say I was messed up for a second. I didn't see Browns gear, and I saw Indians. And I was like,
1989 Wild Thing Ricky Vaughn jersey.
Ricky Vaughn.
It was a gift for Father's Day from my family.
Oh,
So
that's not a bad gift.
This is my official. All I remember was my wife. I was sitting there with my wife, and she was thumbing through her phone. I said, I saw the ad for it. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So she remembered that and bought it for me. Well, technically, Father's Day and my birthday are real close. So
that's right.
And my wedding anniversary. I just said, don't go crazy. You don't have to go crazy for me. Because my wedding anniversary and Father's Day fell on the same day this year.
Nice.
Let me do this. I'm going to get Nicole the link. So
I saw she commented, and actually, if I'm not mistaken, I thought I saw on Twitter here, wasn't Nicole? How's she doing? Didn't she have some? She had some pretty serious issues.
Yeah,
with her.
Last time I saw her was when was the last time I saw her? I saw her in let's see. I saw her at the Journey concert.
Okay. The whole was that draft, the whole Browns draft and everything.
Yeah, the Browns draft. Hey, Nicole, I'll send it to you. Is it okay if I send it to you on Facebook Messenger? Just make sure that's cool. Yeah, I'm still receiving. Thanks, Ashley. All right, so cool. I'm still recovering. Thank you for asking. Okay.
Oh, good to hear.
I'm going to send her the link on Nicole. I'm sending you the link on Facebook Messenger. Let me see. Yeah, she was yes. Okay, cool. Let me get on there. And yep, because
Speaking of jerseys, you probably know him, J Dog, I think's his name. I know he's been on Sherry's show before. He posted something the other day about Fanatics having Chubb jerseys like for $49.
I just sent you the StreamYard link, Nicole, on Facebook Messenger. What was that? Chubb jerseys for like
Fanatics on their website had them for like $49. The Chubb jerseys. And
I got plenty of Chubb jerseys already, so
I didn't. I stopped buying jerseys a while back, but he's one I definitely would do. So I hopped on that day and got me and the missus each one.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
I think that's one of those that I don't care if it's like Bernie or Clay. 20 years from now, you have a Chubb jersey that'll never, be a bad thing.
Like if you have a Myles Garrett,
right?
Or if you have, I have a Jarvis Landry one, which I never.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that one's fine. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, pretty much effectively ended his career. I mean, he played 1 year with the Saints, but if you notice, they got off of them. Oh, hang on a second. Hang on. Guess who we got? What happened? I just put you on, Hayden.
Where'd it go? Oh,
there he is. There he is. Hey.
Hi.
What's up, buddy?
What's up?
Hey, you got a jersey on here?
Yeah, I got Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, you got Shedeur
Oh,
Sanders.
wow.
Yeah, it comes with a lead foot. There you go. Yes.
That's a pretty cool
speed,
jersey.
Kids. Don't speed. That's a cool jersey. Awesome. When did you get that? Was it?
I get this today.
You got it today. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you go to the team shop or did you order it online?
My big shop. The team shop.
Team shop? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Nice.
Awesome. That's good. It looks good on you, man. You got it. What's up?
I have to show you something. I have to show you my room.
Okay.
Your room.
Turn
Is
it
this your
around.
room?
Turn it around.
Spin it around. I'm glad you're feeling better, Nicole. I'm glad.
Oh, how do I do it?
Thank you, sir. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're
Turn it
sir.
around. No, don't turn it off.
Don't turn it
How to
off.
do it?
There's that. You get it. So yeah, earlier on, Steve, I was telling the whole story. I was spinning it around.
No, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Just do it like that.
Okay, so.
Oh, cool. What do we got here? We got brown stuff. Oh, that's a nice poster.
Yeah, it is.
Don't go too fast.
Whoa.
Go slow.
Yeah, motion sickness. All this brown stuff everywhere. Oh, I got the Cavaliers poster. I see that. Awesome. Oh, you got a flat screen.
Show
you
them
got a better room than I did when I was your age. That's
I was
for
gonna
sure.
say I had.
Look
like
at the brownie elf.
Look at
is
man,
that
cool.
the art? Is that the art from a girl that's on X that does all different paintings?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She is awesome. I think she's in Baltimore. She does like all the pro things. I've actually messaged her saying I've got to buy some stuff, but I think it's the Reds, Cincinnati Reds. She got. She does amazing work.
And she will send it so fast.
Really?
Her stuff is just beautiful.
Yeah, it really
I've seen it. I've seen pictures of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen her, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Now you got to show them.
I try to avoid X sometimes.
Okay, so this is the
Wait for them to talk.
this is my mom stuff.
What's that?
You gotta go slow.
Okay, I'm seeing
an anchor.
Yeah, anchors
some
away.
helmets.
Yeah, some helmets. Cool.
I'm seeing a lot of helmets actually.
Yeah.
Are those all autographed?
Yeah. Are those autographed, Tate?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I like the different styles. There's one with the elf on there.
They're cool.
Those are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Hayden, sit down and talk to him.
Awesome.
So is Shedeur your favorite player now, Hayden?
Yeah.
Is he? Oh.
Who else is your favorite players?
Who else? Denzel Ward. Myles
What's his
Garrett?
name?
I can't say so.
No. Who's
What'd
your
he say?
favorite player on the Browns?
Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett,
Okay.
and Junkins, and Darren Sampson, and who's that other guy?
What other guy? You talking about Dylan Gabriel? Was he drafted?
Oh, Joe Judy.
Jerry Jeudy. Oh, the receiver. Okay, yeah, cool. Good stuff. What kind do you think Cedric Tillman's going to step up this year too? If he's healthy? Yeah. He's starting to show some promise. He got that concussion against Pittsburgh and he didn't play again. So, yeah, he was starting to show something there. So I think he could be something. So we'll have to see because we really didn't go out and get any receivers. We might get one, but they drafted Harold Fainen. Yeah,
they brought in that Deontay Johnson, on the cheap for 1 year, but
yeah, I'm not betting the farm on him. Yeah,
no.
Who do you think they should pick up, Hayden? A wide receiver.
Travis Hunter.
Wow,
that'd be nice.
Well, they should have.
They should have picked Travis Hunter. Okay. Yeah, they looked at him as a receiver. I remember that. Yeah, but I'm thinking what we're rooting for this year, we're rooting for Jacksonville to lose a lot. We want to get a top 5 pick next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very possible because they're not that good of a team. They're not. No, they're not. But if they played in a tougher division, they'll feel better. What's that?
Jacksonville is the worst team.
You think they're going to have the number 1 overall pick? The Browns are from Jacksonville.
No, they are the worst team.
They're the worst team. Okay,
Let's hope they are next season.
So yeah, let's hope they are. It's a root for them to go 0-17.
Yeah,
that would
Hayden,
be nice.
If they're the worst team next year, we have their draft pick for next year. So if the more they lose, the better it is for us. So that'll be a good thing.
That'll be a very good thing. And I think I would go ahead. What were you going to say, Steve?
I was just going to say, whoever Jacksonville plays that week, we are their biggest fans.
Yes.
Yeah, because
even if it's Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Because what, Hayden?
Yeah, because Cleveland's the good team.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We were there. We were there for the draft, and I remember when the trade was announced and everybody started booing. People were mad. Oh, Ethan was having a
Hayden
meltdown.
was so mad. Hayden was so mad, weren't you? Weren't you sad?
Oh, yeah. Because everybody wanted Travis Hunter, but they made the move, and but we got Shador. We got Shador, and I think looking back in what we got in return, I mean, we'll see. We won't know for a couple more years, but I think we won the trade. Just all depends on how Jacksonville finishes, and we're rooting for them to lose. So, but that's awesome.
I mean, if you remember, I think our fan base, half of them were split on taking a quarterback like Shador. The other half were, Travis Hunter. Had the Browns, I still think, had the Browns taken Shador in round 3 and did that trade, people would have been like, I mean, why they're not going more nuts now that considering they got him in the 5th, plus got a next year number 1, plus got Mason Graham, you know.
And Quinshon Judkins.
Right. So
it's like, we'll like I said.
IO.
Hey, tell me, what do you think Michigan's going to have the hammer dropped on them for cheating?
What?
Did you hear, Nicole? Did you know about that? With Michigan had the that was almost 2 weeks ago when they had their hearing with the NCAA Rules Committee.
Right.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah. All the investigation's been completed. They presented the evidence to the Rules Committee, and it rarely gets to this point. Usually there's a negotiated punishment, but Michigan didn't want to do it because the rumor was that they would have to vacate the 2023 national championship.
Oh,
and
wow.
They weren't willing to do it.
Wow.
So they're going to vacate wins, have a 2-year postseason ban, probably lose scholarships, and possibly lose the national championship as well, which I would rub it into Michigan fans' faces.
Yeah,
I would. Well, there was something going on. I mean, I was suspicious of it because it's almost like they knew what was going to happen. And then when you remember when they played TCU, playoffs, and TCU just switched up their signals, they just switched everything the other way, and all of a sudden Michigan couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
the evidence was right there. So, there's so much evidence against Connor Stalions on this. Plus, there's other things with Michigan too. Bless you. Yeah, bless you. So. Yeah, it's interesting to see what happens, but it might take a couple more months before the hammer comes down. And I don't know. If there's some guys, I recommend some podcasts. If you follow Ohio State football, The Scoop is really good with Kirk Barton.
Oh yeah, I follow them.
Yeah, that one I followed a lot. They got a lot of really good details about. They've had people on from Michigan State that were really following this, and Michigan State and Ohio State don't get along, but when it comes to this, they're on the same side. They're like, screw Michigan. They cheated.
Right.
Harbaugh might get a lifetime ban from the NCAA.
He better.
I mean,
what do we say about Michigan, Hayden?
Yeah.
I cannot say. I don't want to say it.
Well, don't say the cuss word. Don't say the cuss word. But what do we like Michigan? No. Do we like Pittsburgh?
No.
No.
And we hate Baltimore too.
And Buffalo.
And Buffalo? What about Cincinnati? Yeah.
And Dallas.
Yeah, and Dallas.
That's awesome.
He's been raised right.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So are you guys gonna be heading up to any games this year?
Yeah, we're going to one. It's a
Which one?
Cincinnati game.
Just one game.
Oh,
What do you mean?
You're going to the opener?
no. We're going to more than one game. Well, the first game we're going to is the Cincinnati game.
Yep, I'll be there. Steve will probably be there too. It's the opener.
Is
First
that
one.
the opener?
Yep, I think it is.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Yep.
I know Christine's coming with me to the Ravens game because it's a 4:00 start. Harvey can't come with me, so when it's like a weird start like that, Christine comes with me. So that'll be a fun game.
That's early in the season too, isn't it?
That's in November. It's November 16th. Yeah, it's November.
16th,
And
yeah.
okay.
yeah. So that's the only non 1:00 game. Yeah.
I actually might be in a minority. I like the 1:00 starts. I
do too.
I got my set rituals and things. I like
my
doing.
routines there. It threw me off. Like the opener last year against Dallas, it was at 4:30. I'm like,
yeah,
it was weird. Didn't feel right.
I guess we like them because when we go to home games,
yeah,
we can get back and Hayden won't be so tired and he can go to school on Monday.
Yeah.
So you kind of like Dallas?
No, we don't like Dallas.
No. We're just talking about I was talking about when we opened up against Dallas
last year.
What was that?
Yeah.
It was a 4:30 game, and
yeah,
it was just weird. The one cool thing about that though is that there was a guy tailgating at City Hall, and he had like a hotspot with his phone, and he had like a Roku TV, a smart TV, and he had on the YouTube NFL Sunday Ticket. So he had all these games on the screen. So I was just standing there while tailgating, just watching all these other games with him at 1:00. I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I think it was. The Saints and Panthers was one of them. Cincinnati. I remember Cincinnati lost to the Patriots last year in their opener at home.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me see. What is was it? I like late afternoon games. Still trying to settle for the day. For the day. He likes late afternoon games. He still, No, the 1:00 games I'm fine with. I'm cool with all of them being 1:00. Yeah, the Thursday night ones that screws everybody up.
If you're working, that gets so tough sometimes.
Oh yeah, I went to that Steelers game last year, and I made it to work on time.
Hey.
Yeah,
I was tired. What's up?
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Do you ever play fantasy football?
Do I play fantasy football? No, I don't. But I think Steve might. Do you?
I do. I do.
He does. No.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
How many leagues are you in? One?
Way too many.
Way too many.
I ran across a guy last year, 2 years ago. I think it was tailgating. He does it for a career. He must be. I think I forget the exact name. I think he said he was like in 40 or 50 leagues. I've done 3 before, and my head's spinning.
That's a lot.
That's why.
Oh yeah. Well, it never fails because one week you're playing, you're like, yes, I got. I have. This guy going on this team, but then in the other league, I'm going against them. Too many. So I keep it to about 1 or 2.
Tell him when you started fantasy.
When did you start fantasy?
This year.
This your first year?
No.
Last year? Oh,
he started his leagues 3 months ago.
Oh, wow.
He is trading players already. And I'm like, Hayden, it doesn't start until September. What are you doing?
I want my team to be better.
He wants his team to be better. He loves Barkley.
Saquon Barkley. I like Saquon Barkley.
He just
heck of a player. Great year last year. I got burned by him a couple years ago when he got hurt, and I had him on my team. He was my first round pick, got hurt, and was pretty much missed the whole season. But last year he had a phenomenal season. If you had him, he probably did pretty good in your league.
And when we're at the Jaguar, the Jaguars game, he jumped over like a player.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah,
did backwards.
Yeah.
In fact, I think they put it on the Madden game.
Yeah,
did you see the Madden thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They already got that move on. I think on that game, if I saw.
He was the same draft class as Baker Mayfield and Nick Chubb. Mm-hmm.
You think Andrew Berry takes a beating? What about the Giants GM? So he gave Daniel Jones that big contract and let Barkley go, and now they're neither with him. But yeah.
What do you think, Hayden?
What?
They were down to let Barkley go, huh?
Well, the Giants the worst team in the shit. And now Blakely goes to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah. Phil-
And
Phillies-
they won the championship.
Yep,
Yeah.
they won it. They won it last year, right?
You know, the head
Absolutely.
coach is from here. They didn't, wasn't he John Carroll? Did he go to?
What, the coach for the Eagles?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
For some reason, I thought he was with. I thought he has ties to John Carroll for some
I
reason.
know the Cardinals head coach was from here.
Mhm.
He went to St. Thomas More and St. Ignatius. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I knew that. West Side Brooklyn kid.
Excuse
Oh my
me.
God. Yes, sir.
Tomorrow we're going to a Cleveland Browns event tomorrow.
You are? Yeah, my daughter's birthday is tomorrow. Well, her birthday party is. Birthday was Thursday. It was yesterday.
What's the event tomorrow?
What's the event?
Is it Tuscaloosa?
Tuscaloosa Browns backers.
Tuscaloosa Browns backers are gonna have
Oh.
Hey, we're gonna have a fun time. We're gonna do bowling. We're gonna do bowling. We can do we having what again?
they're gonna have food
Food.
Nice.
and lots of players are gonna be there.
And what are players?
Oh wow.
Old time players,
Whole time, like
older players before you were born.
Oh, wow,
what?
wow.
Way
Before you,
before you were born.
how about Jim Brown? Is Jim Brown gonna be there?
No,
he's
he
dead.
passed away.
Yeah, he's dead.
He
He
went
died
to
2
heaven.
years ago. Yes,
Way to be so blunt, Lou. He's
Um,
dead.
he's dead. He's
He's
dead.
dead.
Yeah, he'll be there with Lou Groza and Paul Brown. Yes.
But other people will be there.
Oh
Will
yeah.
Bernie be there? Will Bernie bake it?
I don't know. They don't have Bernie.
Didn't he have surgery just like a week or so ago? I thought I,
I
saw
saw
him.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
He might still be recovering.
From Mount Union.
Hey, did they change what's going on West 6th yet, or did they completely shut that down?
The
Before
tailgating?
games? Yeah.
Last I knew that ended last year. I don't know if it
I
started
think they,
back up.
yeah, they shut it down.
Yeah, because I don't know if you knew about this, Nicole. We went that week. I think it was a Giants game, and they charged us to go in. They used to just check your
really?
IDs. They used to just check your IDs, and then they charged us. And then
In the pit.
it wasn't the pit. No, it wasn't the pit. It was
Okay.
it was West 6th. It was by
West
the
6th.
Barley House there, where they have the
Oh, yeah,
92
yeah.
and the booth and all that other stuff. They used to
Yeah.
just check IDs.
Wow.
Then, when we got the, and then now they charged us like, I thought it was like $5 or $6, and I was like, really?
Wow.
I was like, huh. I was like, it blew my mind. I was like, then it got shut down like that week by the city of Cleveland. So
Wow.
not sure what happened. Yeah, you did miss it, Steve. I was going through the whole thing about the stadium and the story, because a lot of times people don't understand what happened and
Huh?
why
Right.
how we're here and how we got here and why the
Mhm.
Browns were so bad for 20 years, and and they've been mediocre for 5. So you want to just
Well,
say that?
If
yeah.
I'm not mistaken, so didn't everything passed right in the legislation?
Yeah, they're
They
just
approved
reconciling.
that.
They have 3 different plans on what, just deciding on what they're going to
Excuse
do.
me?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
What's up, Hayden?
We're about to go to sleep.
You going to sleep? Time to go to bed?
No, I don't have to go to bed now, but we have to go to an event tomorrow that we have to wake up like
Okay.
early in the morning.
All right, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming on.
Have fun.
Appreciate
Make
it.
sure you
Have
bring
fun.
bring
Yeah.
bring
Thank
a
you.
pad or a
And
marker.
I'll see. I'll see you.
Get some autographs.
I'll see you at the Are you guys making it to the preseason game against the Rams? Or are you going to be at the Cincinnati game? I'll see you at one of those games. I'll see you at some games this year. Do you remember?
I think they're muted.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night, Hayden. Bye, Nicole.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. Cool. All right.
Yeah, so
We're
they passed that. So I mean, I think at this point this is gonna go through, right?
Oh, it's 99% sure. And
Yeah.
there's even did you even see the talk with the city, the Cuyahoga County Council people saying we can override his veto?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Chris Ronan. It's like, dude, give it up. They're like, look
Yeah.
at reality. It's happening. Well, they were in court today, and I was talking about this. I said they're trying to invoke the Art Modell law, but the Browns are saying we're leaving when the lease expires. The Art Modell law is
Right.
You can't
Yeah,
do it during a lease.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I never understood that. It's not, they're not breaking anything.
No, they're not.
So
They're trying to
does
say they are, but they're not. It's like, no, we're not leaving until February 1st of 2029 when the lease expires. We're gonna fulfill our obligations there.
Yeah.
So how can you say we're breaking a lease? Plus, we're only moving 15 minutes, like 15 miles away across the street from Cleveland Hopkins Airport.
All right.
So I don't know what they're trying to do.
To be honest, being, we're the old, we're a little bit older generation. I'm good with them leaving. We haven't won anything there. All the misery we've had there. I think
It's time for a fresh start.
Yeah, you said it before. Look at what happened with the Indians when they went to, Jacobs Field and now Progressive Field. I'm all for it. Looking back,
100%.
I almost wish they wouldn't have kept the colors and stuff when we left. I hate to say it, but I wish they would have just started off fresh. And, after seeing what we've seen since '99, I mean, who would have thought we would have seen such crap for so long,
No.
But we shall see.
It was the equivalent of what happened to SMU in '87.
Yeah.
It was the death penalty. And
Well, you remember back in the '80s and stuff, even early '90s. I mean, every game I thought we would win. I expected to win. We were favored. We were favored to be in the playoffs. We were favored. And
yeah,
the
favorable
Bengals
divisions. Yeah,
I remember, especially in the '90s, the Bengals being the laughing stock. Every time they drafted, you're like, you're gonna pick the wrong guy. They always drafted the wrong player.
David Klingler, Kajana Carter,
and
Dan Wilkinson. Oh, it was just.
I did like him though, but he wasn't a Big Daddy from Ohio State. But yeah, he didn't live up to what they thought. But yeah, no, every pick they did, it was just terrible. They always bombed on him, and that turned to be us for a while.
Yeah.
With some of the drafts we did.
They were talking about dysfunction, and and we did have dysfunction. I think when Al Lerner was the owner for the first couple of years, we might have had a chance. But when Randy took over, it just really wasn't the same after that.
I don't think he cared. His heart was never with the Browns. I think Al Lerner loved the Browns and stuff. And when he passed, his son, because wasn't he over in like England or London? And he had the soccer team.
Yeah.
And I mean, he tried to do the right thing. Here, I'll hire the football guys. You guys do it. He really wanted nothing to do with it. It's, but things are better now. Like I said, I'm optimistic. I think the draft,
Yeah, he said good guys. Yeah. He was just talking about telling Hayden about Jim Brown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim Brown was the best Brown ever. Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Sorry. Yeah, he was. Absolutely. If people want to hang their head on the misery and everything, you can't go back and change it.
No,
you can't. There was something else on Father's Day. I saw this going around on social media, and somebody actually tagged me, and they thought they were cute, but they're not going to get a reaction from me. It was Ben Roethlisberger with a kid, and the face of the kid was a Browns helmet because he's the Browns' daddy for Father's Day, and I just went. Some people chimed in and said, well, it wasn't your daddy in that playoff game, was he?
Right.
Wasn't our daddy in that playoff game? Was it? Well, 20 years before that, blah, blah, blah. They start arguing with each other. I'm not going to get guys, Pittsburgh fans. You haven't won a playoff game in 10 years.
Mm-mm.
All right. You're winning, but you're winning. You're good enough to win and make the playoffs, but you can't take that extra step and get that quarterback because you're not bad enough to draft one. And when I talked to Jeff Hartman in Pittsburgh, he thinks they're going to trade draft picks and move up in the draft when that, as an organizational philosophy, is something they're rarely doing. I did say that.
Yeah.
They don't really trade draft picks, but he thinks they will. So that's what he thinks. We took a big swing, and it was a big miss with Deshaun Watson. I'll admit that. So we got Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. Mm-hmm. I've never seen so much media coverage for a 5th-round pick before in my entire life.
Right.
But I'm going to make a point to Pittsburgh fans. Guys, don't get arrogant. Don't get cocky. I'm warning you. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to say anything or do anything, but you're relying on a guy that's going to be 42. Is it 42? I think Aaron Rodgers will be 42 in December.
Yeah.
And more than likely, just by probability, just looking at the analytics, he's not going to play every game. He's probably going to get it. Joe Flacco hasn't played a full game since before Baker Mayfield was drafted. A full season of games, I should say. Excuse me, full seasons of games. He hasn't. And Joe Flacco's 1 year younger, or 1 or 2 years younger than Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, guys, I'm just saying, you get the other guy behind him is Mason Rudolph. When you're thinking if you have a good enough team around him, things are clicking, you could win. Yeah, you could, but when it comes to facing a higher level team, probably not.
Well,
so.
When was Will Howard drafted? Was that he was after? Okay, because
he could be good. I mean, I was a Will Howard guy for a long time.
I came around later. His size. He's the prototypical quarterback size that you'd like to have.
Yeah. I thought he'd be a third round pick just because how big he is.
But what's funny is people mock the Browns like, oh, you're putting your hopes on a 5th round pick. The Shador fans. Well, but I've heard so many people talking about Will Howard now. He's going to be the quarterback. It's like, well, he's a 6th rounder. So
yeah, well, it's a steal. It's because the Steelers have been successful more than the Browns in the last 20 years.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
definitely more stability. They've been the better team.
Of course they have. I'm not going to argue that.
No, I've always hated Pittsburgh growing up. Still to this day, but I will say I respect them. I didn't before, when you're younger, you just growing up, I was just like, I hate Pittsburgh, hate everything about them. But after what we've gone through and how I respect the Rooneys. I respect the Rooneys because I think they do run.
Yeah, and I respected Chuck Noll because he was actually a class guy.
Yeah,
he was. Cowher, not so much.
No. Okay.
No, I would have told him to shove that ring up his ass because that game was fixed.
You think the Arizona one?
No, the Seattle one.
Or the Seattle. Okay.
Yeah.
You think that one was?
I think that was rigged. I think it was fixed 100%.
Was that the last one? Was that Jerome Bettis's last year?
Yeah,
he got the ring?
He got his ring in his own time. It was all a bunch of bullshit. Even Joe Jurvis has been, it was bullshit. I think the Tampa Bay Oakland Super Bowl was fixed too. Wow, I think that one was, because it was like soon as Oakland lined up, Tampa Bay knew what they were going to do. It was just like, they knew everything. So it was just ridiculous. So, but that was Bill Callahan's team too. We wish we had Bill Callahan back.
Yeah. I do like this new offensive line coach though. So I think they're gonna, yeah. I think they realized they made a mistake and they're resetting the offense. How good they're going to be, it's predicated on how well we can run the ball. Yeah. So we've obviously done stuff to improve that between signing that one offensive lineman, the guys they've drafted in the past, and the 2 running backs. So that was pretty tough to see last week. If you saw any of the clips of Chubb in Houston, some of the practices, Yeah, I saw it. A few of those. I saw a clip. He said, and of course you saw the letter he wrote.
Yeah, absolutely. I have nothing against Nick Chubb. No, and I can understand why the Browns did what they did. I can understand it. Once he drafted, because what happened was the way the draft fell to us. It's like we got this trade, we got 2 good young running backs. We didn't really have a spot for him. Yeah, and those 2 season-ending injuries. I hope he does well. I'm wishing him the best. The only team I'm wishing bad on right now is Jacksonville. Yep. I don't have to wish bad on Pittsburgh. I don't have to. I really don't. Because I know Baltimore just signed Jaire Alexander, so they're going to be good. Baltimore's going to be good. Cincinnati's going to be good. We just hope Cincinnati has a slow start. We win the opener. So I mean, like they're notorious slow starters. They're probably going to try to break that trend. But there's a lot can happen between now and September. And I never, like I said, I've never seen so much media attention over a kid that's a 5th round pick in my life. I'm sure you probably talked about the speeding tickets. Oh yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, and I guess Ethan made a point saying they're attacking the reporters because he said he failed to appear in court, but that was on the court website. They're reporting what's on the court website. But if he had a bench warrant for failing to appear, his second ticket would have been arrested. He wasn't arrested, and he wasn't under the influence of anything either. Right. Just so where it looks bad, if they come out, he did the ticket. I mean, 100 miles or 101, whatever it was. Oh, we had 2. If you had 2 reckless ops within 3 weeks, we'd lose our licenses. Yeah. I think where it looked worse is once it came out later that, oh, by the way, he had another speeding ticket, just the 6th or something, doing 91.
that looks bad. You know, you did it once, got it again. You know, I mean, he's what, 22, 23. I know I've driven like an idiot on the freeway, and I've never had nearly as the vehicles those guys have. You know what I mean?
I've done lots of dumb shit.
Right. So don't condone it. It looks bad having the 2. Hopefully he learned. I saw something. He made a comment at the celebrity thing, which I can't believe they played that. I was talking to some friends on X.
Oh, I'm just a boy or something.
What's that?
What did he say? I'm just a boy. Is that what it was?
No, no. He said I learned from him, you know, learn from it and stuff. And, you know, so hopefully he does, you know, dumb thing to do, got caught, but whatever. But I can't believe they did that celebrity game. That rained all day out here because I live, you know, just a few miles from.
Yeah, I think there might have been a rain delay in it.
Yeah, I don't know. It started later. It was weird because it was a Thursday. Last year they did it and it was a Saturday, which was great. Nats tailgate came out, some of the tailgating groups, and it was like an all-day thing. This year they did it, you know, doors. I think the gates open around 4:30, and with the rain and everything, and over in that area there's construction. It was just a kind of a crappy. I don't know how well the turnout was, but
yeah.
Oh well.
And just for the record, you know, we went into last year with the Browns thinking they would be better than they were, and we got hit with reality. I think when we started getting those reports from joint practices. So let's hear the reports from joint practices this year against the Carolina Panthers and against a very good world champion Eagles. They had probably one of the best defenses in the league. So it's good to go up against them. And
who is it? Eagles and is it Vikings? They're doing 2 this year.
Carolina Panthers.
Or Carolina. Okay.
That's the first preseason game. Yeah, the Vikings was last year. It was against the Vikings last year when the reports were coming out.
Oh yeah, and everybody blasted those guys. It turned out,
but they were just telling the truth. Yeah.
So
when we saw the preseason, we're like, okay, it's just preseason. Oh, it's just practice.
Always had some.
We always had
not only that, but look at how many of the starters weren't even playing. You're like, yeah, okay, you know, the whole, you know,
that
so many guys sat out.
I think it's going to be different this year. I think the tone's already different from the mini camp with the 11-on-11s that you're saying. I think you're going to see a more physical camp. You're going to see preseason reps. You're not going to see a lot, but they're going to play at least a series.
Yeah,
they might not play at all the last preseason game. I could see that sitting starters then. That's normal, but you're going to see guys practicing and playing. Plus, we had a lot of injuries on the offensive line to start.
Yeah, I was just going to say. I mean, really, with any team, but with this team, the injuries are going to dictate everything. If we're healthy, we're a good team. I think you know, there's no question where you could argue years past, especially in the 2000s and, you know, up until the last five years or so, we didn't have the talent. We didn't have the depth. We have talent on this roster, both sides of the ball. We've got more depth. So, you know, I'm excited. I personally don't want to see Flacco as the starter. I love Joe. Great. You know what he did 2 years ago. We were there.
I was there.
Thursday night. I was there with
my wife.
Game.
Yeah.
One of the. I've been a season ticket holder since 2007. Probably the greatest feeling I'd ever had as a season ticket holder was that Thursday night when we clinched the playoffs. Remember that Thursday night against the Jets? Phenomenal. But no,
it was like a playoff game. That halftime show was awesome. That was great. It was just, I remember my wife even saying, like, she's not into sports, but she'll come to those things with me.
Yeah.
She's been to Indians games, Cavs games, and she went to like 2 Browns games with me so far. And she loved it. She had such a blast.
Yeah.
She had so much fun. It's just, we were real tired by the time we got home, but we
long day.
It was just but she was really, we thought it was going to be really, really cold, but it wasn't that bad.
No.
It didn't feel that bad. It was cold, but it wasn't like, you know, sub-zero.
Not at all.
Not crazy. Nope. There was just it was a fun game. It was just a great time.
The atmosphere is great. And wasn't that the game where Chubb came out to do the guitar?
Yeah. How loud it was.
Remember how so it started off, and then they did the whole cool thing with the phones with one of the companies where, you know, it was
you
white out.
You white out.
Yeah.
It was just
the
music.
The atmosphere, everything. That was by far my favorite memory so far, being a season ticket holder since.
Well, yeah, it's for the last 2 years for me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you this one. Last time Kenny Pickett started at Cleveland Browns Stadium was as a Steelers starting quarterback. We had DTR and we beat the Steelers at home 13-10.
Wow.
And do you remember that game? That was 2023. It was in November 2023. We were there. And I remember there was like Steeler fans that were just They were sitting in our row. They're running their mouths the whole game. Blah blah blah. 230 million to a quarterback. Blah blah blah. Game was over. We won. I just walked up to them and said, "Have a good night." Shook their hand and walked away. That's all I did. That's all I did.
Best feeling in the world.
Feeling ever, because all the guy did was just hang his head. He said, "Hey, have a good night, guys. Have a good night. Thank you. See ya." It's just like, oh, it's just yeah.
I want to win, and I really hope we do. If we made the playoffs, that'd be outstanding. But more than anything, I want to find out. My biggest thing going into this year, obviously, guys staying healthy. I want to know if we got that quarterback, whether it's Pickett, Gabriel, Sanders. I don't know if we will.
It won't be Flacco.
No.
Do you know if we have a chance to take a guy, say like it's a top 3 pick from either ours or Jacksonville, we have a chance to take a generational quarterback, regardless of what you get.
I think you have to. You have to.
Just remember, in 1983, with the second last pick in the first round, Don Shula picked Dan Marino to play quarterback from Pitt. And everybody's like, well, I don't know why he did that. He went to the Super Bowl with Dave Woodley, just so you know. But he took Dan Marino.
Speaking of that, you ever see those clips and stuff? Is it not crazy to see how far the NFL's come, especially with drafts? Like back then, remember, I've seen all the footage of they had one room with the guys there, and who is it, Rozelle? Pete Rozelle, and they're on the phone. They're like, Miami with the 24th pick is taking Dan Marino. Now look at the spectacle it is today. It's 3 days.
The red carpet.
It's phenomenal.
Bullshit.
I remember being in high school and getting the paper. My buddy had a paper route, and I'd walk with him the one day. He had the News Herald, which was a Lake County one. So Plain Dealer would do it in the morning. The News Herald did it in the afternoon. So when kids are done with school, they do it. And I remember walking with him one day, looking at the paper, and I think it was the Mike Junkin. I'm like, we took Mike Junkin from Duke. I'm reading in the paper the next day, and now it's like, Thursday night.
You'd find out immediately. When it happens. It's like everything's now. We got to know now. We got to do this.
Yep. It's just so funny to see some of those videos. If you remember that one, Dan Marino fell because he went to Pitt. I think he was pissed because he wanted to go to Pittsburgh. He's a Pittsburgh kid.
He said he would have been happy if he was drafted by the Steelers, but but looking back, he said he's happy where he ended up. Yeah, and turned out fine for him.
What was it? What was it like 5? Because that was the '83 draft where that was known for a long time as
quarterbacks.
Best quarterback.
The first one was John Elway to the Colts, who got traded to Denver. I think Jim Kelly, Ken O'Brien, Todd Blackledge, right? Tony Eason
was Boom
and Dan Marino.
Okay, Eason. I was
Boomer Esiason was 84 in the second
I was thinking
round by
of him.
the Bengals.
Okay,
and the Browns took Kosar 85 in the supplemental draft.
That I remember that he finagled that. Well, people don't realize this. Kosar was a genius. He finished college in 2 years with a degree, or did he have 2 degrees?
And basically, the Vikings wanted him. And the Browns wanted him. They sat him down. They go, where do you want to play? He goes, I want to play in Cleveland.
Well, he circumvented that whole. I thought it wasn't it his idea about sitting out doing the whole supplemental thing and stuff, and because he wanted to play for the Browns. He's from Youngstown, and but yeah, I remember Well, and the other thing, I don't know if a lot of people remember. Everybody remembers Doug Flutie, the Hail Mary, the infamous Hail Mary. He was playing against Miami, and it was Kosar.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
He said that cost him a Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
It did.
I'll be honest. I didn't know, again, today's coverage compared to back then, I didn't really know Bernie back then. I mean, everybody knew the Miami Hurricanes.
I remember that national championship game when Kosar won the national championship. And then Nebraska was like this unbelievable powerhouse at the time with Tom Osborne and that. And I remember him even talking about that game, saying, yeah, you're this great team, and you got to use a fumble Ruski to get a play on us.
Right.
That's the way he thought about it. He was just like, that was Howard Schnellenberger's team. Howard Schnellenberger was the coach of the Dolphins. Yeah. Oh, I remember see that. We're going, guys, if you're too young, sorry to remember all this. We were kids. When this happened.
And I still remember Bernie when they had that press conference. Remember he comes out in a tank top and flip-flops, sunglasses up on his head.
Yeah.
It's funny to see some of those videos and stuff and some of the clips from before. But yeah, no, that's Yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
you're going to have a top pick. It'd be nice if we had that quarterback on the roster, but I mean, if we've learned nothing over these last several years, you don't have a franchise quarterback, you're screwed. So
You're doomed to either mediocrity or bad play. Just bad team. Yeah.
Now it'll be interesting. I'm more curious to see now with the whole NIL and all that, with these kids now getting paid. There's not such an urgency for them to have to come into a draft. I mean, let's be honest, some of those guys can make more money in college than in the NFL right now.
Right.
But I'm curious to see who comes out next year, because a lot of people talk about, was it Archie Manning, the kid? What's the kid from Penn State? Aller or is it Aller? The Penn State.
Drew Aller, the Penn State one. Yeah,
I know those two, and then inevitably there's probably other.
Did you say Arch Manning?
Yeah, isn't he projected to come out? Is it next year?
He is, but you don't know what kind of year he's going to have. I remember, I mean, that he's more of a wild card, but I know Drew Aller, people were talking about, they watched him play against was it Notre Dame and against Ohio State. He really did do much, but I was hearing all these great things. And
I remember
Miami. Yep. It wasn't a great NFL head coach. No, he wasn't. Yeah, this is Miami Hurricanes. He's a great recruiter, is what he was in Miami. But go ahead. What were we about to say, Steve?
No, I was agreeing with you. Excuse me.
But you don't really know. But yeah, he did have some mediocre. But we'll have to see how it shakes out. Yeah. I mean, Cam Ward could be great. Cam Ward could be nothing. Shedeur Sanders could be great. Shedeur Sanders could be nothing. But they had him projected as a late first round, early second round talent. Could he be better than that? Absolutely. Could he be worse? Absolutely. Yeah. So you don't know.
Did you see? It was on somebody's show. I think it was on. What do you call TikTok? But he was. I forget whose show he's doing. Manziel talking about Shedeur Sanders and stuff and what he thought. Did you happen to see that? It was playing this past week.
Oh, I don't give a shit what Manziel says.
Right? I can't believe he's still relevant. People still talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah, unbelievable. So let's just say this. I think what a lot of people, I put that in articles and I've talked about this, was a lot of people invest a lot of time and energy in their teams, and especially their money and their emotions. And if you had a guy like, you're all behind this guy, whatever it's Sanders, I don't see people getting behind Gabriel. I really don't.
No.
I don't, which kind of, I could see him doing something, but but if it's a lot of people are still hanging on to Flacco from 2 years ago, but they know he's old. If whoever it might be, you might be setting yourself up for a disappointment.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, because you can't really, it's not fair to look at practice video and think Shedeur Sanders is the next coming. It's not, guys. Give the kid some time. Of course he's going to do stupid shit. We all did stupid shit when we were in our 20s. He's just be thankful he didn't hurt anybody or seriously get hurt. They just be thankful he didn't do that. And hopefully, hey, dude, no, don't go 100 miles an hour on the highway.
Hopefully he's learned.
This isn't the Autobahn. Okay.
Well, did you see, who is it? Colin Cowherd. Boy, how he flipped pretty quickly, because he was talking about Pittsburgh. Wasn't he the one saying, I would trade TJ Watt draft picks and take Shedeur, move up to get Shedeur?
Did he say that?
Yeah. See, I remember saying you trade TJ Watt, and I think it was other people plus draft picks, and he loves Sanders. Thought it was great. The Browns did phenomenal. As soon as those tickets come up, he's done. They need to cut him. Sanders is like, wow, what a 180 he did.
Yeah, that's why he's not a general manager of a team, because if he does that, you can't rule by emotion. Let's just say this: looking around the AFC North, because it looks like Baltimore's pretty stable and they're going to be good this year. Yeah. Looking around the AFC North, TJ Watt didn't show up to mandatory minicamp, and he wants more money.
Oh, okay.
And same thing happened in Cincinnati with Trey Hendrickson. And as far as I know, I don't think they've signed their first round pick.
No, they got goofy. Mike Brown went Mike Brown, and what it was, because I was trying to figure out, I'm like, what's, now there's no debate. It's everything slotted. It's not like, back, who is it? Sam Bradford draft. I think that was the last one. Yeah.
But
now everything's slotted. But what it was is, they want to put language back in there about something, and I forget what the exact language is, and they're like, no, they're not agreeing to it. It's nothing about the money what to get in, but they want some type of I don't know if it's a void or what, but there's specific language they're trying to put back into this contract that they haven't done in a few years. And they're trying to do it to this guy, that draft pick, and he's refusing.
Yeah. So it's like the guy you drafted to replace Hendrickson is you're lowballing him. You're screwing with him. And it's like, and people are talking about us being dysfunctional.
All right.
Which I'm not saying we're perfect. We're far from it, but we're not as bad as you think we are.
Yeah.
Nowhere near that. And Pittsburgh, I could see Pittsburgh getting something done with Watt before the season starts, by sometime in training camp or even before.
You would think they would. They should.
Yeah, you would think they would. They should. And then, Cam Hayward, they drafted that tackle out of Oregon because they know Cam Hayward's very long in the tooth. He is. I mean, he's been around for a long time. So, and he's had an great career, amazing Buckeye, amazing player.
Yep.
Yeah. And like I said, they drafted, they draft well. They're going to have good players. They're going to have a good team. I'm just saying, guys, I think they don't realize they're in quarterback purgatory since Roethlisberger, because we know what it feels like. We see it. We know so are we. And what we're hoping for, go ahead.
I'm rooting for them to be in purgatory. I'm rooting for the Colts. Nothing pissed me off more than when Peyton Manning retired and they get Andrew Luck. I'm like, are you shitting me? Remember the Colts? And now they're going through this Richardson thing, and I think he's hurt again, something with his shoulder. So I don't think he's supposed to miss the season, but I know he's like going to miss a lot of the camp or something.
Just to play devil's advocate, do you think Watson's shoulder injury was still lingering last season? I'm not making excuses. I'm just wondering if that's part of it.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, how could that guy be that bad? I know he had a long layoff, almost 2 years.
He wasn't that bad in 23. I mean, he had his moments that were decent, but pretty good. But he wasn't that horrendous. He was not that horrendous.
We've seen worse, but something always seemed off. I don't know if it was the timing or some of the throws or something.
It's like everything just wasn't working. It's like everything just didn't click. It wasn't. We were sitting there, we couldn't put our finger on it. We're like, what is wrong?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like you knew probably by week 3 or 4, like the whole offense, everybody was gone. Like this wasn't working, but they couldn't do it then. They had to kind of see it out through the season. And I think even Haslam knew, like, hey, this was on me. It was my decision to do this. That's why you didn't see guys getting fired, because people are upset that they kept them, meaning Barry and Stefanski. But those same people be upset if we fire them because we don't keep our coaches. So it's like, you can't make these people happy.
I still think one of the biggest moments for me this offseason was, and kind of a surprise because you don't see it very often, was when Haslam come out and said, we went for it, we swung for it, and we missed. Basically acknowledge that, hey, we missed on Watson.
Yeah, you can't say he's not trying. You can't say he won't try.
But I mean, right then and there, because you heard it, like he gets hurt, and then you're like, oh, they're doing this. Like, holy cow, we can't get rid of this guy. Remember, there's even some talk he might try and start this year. Like, really, we can't just be done. But when Haslam come out and said that, I think that was like, okay, they're moving on. They've admitted
they've already moved on.
Yeah.
They've already moved on.
Give him credit. I mean, guys got $230+ million. Well, they rework stuff. So does he get more money with any of those, or
No, it's just how it's going to be. There's going to be void years or dummy years afterwards. So it's going to be spread out, and as the cap goes up, it's going to eat less.
So it's still 230. Okay, I mean, plus whatever he made prior to that. I mean, guys set for life. I'll give him credit. You saw.
You take the money too. If you were getting that, if somebody offered that to you.
Well, no, I'll give him credit for the fact that about a month ago, or not even, there was video out there of him rehabbing.
Yeah, go ahead.
And he's trying again, and good for it. Whatever. I'm done. Yeah.
Go for it, man.
I'm still getting used to the Indians gear on you. It looks good. Red, white, and blue. The jersey and everything.
Yeah. I just thought I'd throw everybody off by it's Cleveland, so we're good. It's summer. Thank you. It looks good on me. I wear it well. Thank you. I was going to say what I was going to get at was, I think just looking overall with the Browns and everything, I think we're going into this season with less expectations. Mm-hmm. And not necessarily realistically, but we know we're not. If we see 7 to 9 wins, that's probably where we're at.
Yeah.
And we don't have a franchise quarterback. I think Kenny Pickett could be successful. That's what I was going to talk about, because the Stefanski offense might fit him pretty good. He's not the type of guy that's going to lose you games, but he's not going to win you games either. So,
Right.
and like I said, if we can run the ball and the defense and we get ahead of the sticks, like a 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 5 consistently, this is going to be a much better offense. That's what it was. How many times were we like 3rd and 9, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 15? I mean, you're not going to be successful. You're not.
The injuries to that line last year killed us, and we just couldn't run. By and large, we could not run the ball. And that had been
and their stupid
everything with us.
penalties, the stupid ass penalties. That was the worst.
Yep.
Those things too. Just all that. It's just like
they
killed our
went back.
drives.
They're going back to their old philosophies on how their blocking schemes are. Stefanski's back to his offense. You've got some weapons. The receivers are going to be a little bit of a question mark, but there's talent there. We'll see.
I think there's more 2 tight end sets with this.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Including with Harold Fanan and David Njoku. I think you're going to see more. Yeah. It's going to be interesting how this, that's what I'm going to watch for in the preseason is like, what you want to see in the preseason is, can they execute? Can they at least execute? Yeah. Most of the time the ones go down, they drive and they score because the defense is so vanilla. It's nothing. And it just seems like, oh, this is great. We're going to be the greatest team ever. Everybody does that. Right. They do. But you just want to see them execute. You don't want to see penalties. You don't want to see stupid stuff happening. And you want to avoid injuries too, more than anything else in the preseason. So I will be there against the Rams on the 23rd. And I will be there September 7th then. Oh, just so you know, one last thing before we go. September 18th, rookies report. July 18th, rookies report for training camp, and veterans report on July 22nd.
Have you seen anything yet as far as training camp? I know for season ticket holders, we usually get something.
No, I haven't seen anything yet about training camp tickets.
Up to 8 tickets or something for a camp?
I haven't heard anything. I know they're not going to the Greenbrier.
Right. We know that they're not doing that this year.
Yeah, they did it. Well, the first year they did it, it worked out well because they went to the playoffs and the team played well. Last year they did it, and for some reason it just, you know what? A lot of it was injuries. A lot of injuries carried over. And Jed Wills was pretty much quiet quitting. Okay. I'm glad to see DeJuan Jones is back in shape and he's playing. I think he could, if he becomes a very good starting left tackle, he was a 4th round pick.
Yeah. Him and Conklin. I mean, those are bookend tackles. Conklin's
very good.
He's an all-pro tackle. It's just the thing that's got him over some of these years is the injury. When he's healthy, he's one of the best right tackles. DeJuan Jones showed, when I still remember that game against Watt. Remember, it was one of his first games. Watt didn't come close. He dominated him.
Yep.
And he slimmed down. It looks like he's dropped a few pounds. He looks like
dropped like 30 pounds. Yeah. He looks like he's in good shape. He's going to come into camp in shape, which is what you can ask for. Hey, if it's your job to be in shape, you're going to be in shape.
Right.
I mean, it's really what it is.
And somebody said a very good point. It may have been your buddy Ryder. I can't remember where I heard it, but
John Suchan.
No, it was, I think, on one of the radio guys here.
Daryl Ryder. Okay,
I think it was Ryder, or maybe somebody. I can't remember. This was probably a month or two ago. He's coming up at that time of period. If they're starting to look now at that second contract, and that's that big contract. That's the one now after that rookie. Hey, about to get paid. So I'm kind of expecting big things for Jones. So this is what, year 3?
Yep. He's like, you stay healthy. Look like you're a good starting left tackle in the NFL. You're going to be set for life.
He's going to get paid here, and this is the year where if he kicks it in, it's payday. So
I'll never forget. I was listening to the draft. It was the 3rd day of the draft. It was a Saturday afternoon. I'm helping out my father-in-law at his place out in Chardon. He had a place out in Chardon. I had the earbuds in. I was listening on the Odyssey app. Cleveland Browns 4th round drafted DeJuan Jones, right tackle from Ohio State. I'm like, oh, they drafted Ohio State player. They drafted a Buckeye offensive line. Okay. And then they said, yeah, he's 6'10", 350 pounds. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, good Lord.
He's huge.
I couldn't believe how big they said he was. Yeah. Like, this guy's a monster. I said, how did he get in the 4th round? I mean, geez, that guy that size.
I don't think he was as good at Ohio State for whatever reason, because I remember some talk early on that they thought he'd be a 1st round pick, and just for whatever reason, I don't remember now, if he just didn't live up to the expectations or I don't remember, but they're, at one point they thought he'd be a 1st round pick. We'll see. Like I said, it's all about health. And did you, I don't know, I think you talked about the softball thing. Yesterday, right?
saw it yesterday. I wasn't there. I saw
Yeah.
some coverage of it.
Yeah, I saw the bougie girls were there.
Bougie sports people were there. Posh was there.
Yep. Yeah, she made I saw
yeah.
she posted she made the drive from St. Louis like the day before that night. That's dedication there.
Oh, I would have booked a flight. But yeah, I'm glad that she did, and I'm glad that that people got there. Lana was there, Heather was there. I believe Yvette was there too. Was her daughter with her?
Yvette and
I think her daughter was with her.
Lysandra's back here now in Cleveland again.
I texted Lysandra. I offered her to come on too. I offered people to come on. I reached out to a bunch of people. You want to make it? Just come on. We'll hang out.
It was a rainy day. This is summertime, so we're in a boat club, and that's where I was. But it finally cleared up a little bit. We actually were going to sleep on our boat tonight, and we decided not to. So that's why I didn't commit. I was like, my wife's like, "Hey, I thought we were going down there." I'm like, "Yeah." So,
blame me.
No. It was on and off rain, and I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. And I'm working this weekend, so I'm like, you know what? I just want to come home. So, but we went down there, had a nice dinner and stuff. But yeah, a lot of them were there. Like I said, Lysandra was there. She's back in town now, right? She moved back. Did you see? I saw it on X. Did you see? You're good friends with him. Brown Spider Adventure.
Yeah.
He's engaged. Charles. Him and First Lady got engaged. Did you see it?
Well, I didn't see that. Congratulations, Spider. Congrats, man.
He put out this video, and it's on X. If you pop up and pull him up, you'll see it. You see the camera shows the front, and it's his girl, First Lady. She's wearing a baseball cap that says bride, I think. And he's hugging her, so you only see his backside. The camera's like from behind him, and I think it spins around or something, and it says groom or something on it. So, but he did a pretty cool little video of them being engaged. So yeah, they are officially engaged. So who says Brown's Twitter doesn't bring people together?
I'm trying to find it. He's talking about somebody's thighs.
You may have to scroll a little bit as I think it was earlier this week or something.
Oh,
but
great. Jesus. Let's see. Okay. I see him in his car. All right, keep going. Keep talking. Yeah.
That was I think that was going to. You're probably gonna have to go back a few days.
I'm back one day. Hold on, wait. Okay, when we get married, okay, I think I see this. Yep. Hang on. We will have a big celebration. Send invitations to all our friends. Oh, okay. Well, I am going to say congratulations. Congratulations. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and post my reply to him. Thank you for telling me that. Thank you. Hey, let's it's about a minute 41, and I went by myself for a while.
Nice.
Which is
Sherry's good, right? She's just
Sherry's good. Yeah, she's good.
Okay. I know she got positive test results she posted or something, so that's good to hear.
Positive good. Yes, positive good. There's a story behind that. You want to hear this? This is an Iron Sheik story. It's an Iron Sheik story. I'm going to finish this.
The wrestler.
Coco Beware told me this. Coco Beware, the wrestler. He's like, I guess Vince McMahon, in front of all the boys at the locker room, said, Sheik, I got to tell you, you had a positive drug test for cocaine. Yes, positive good. I told you I was clean. Positive good. That's good. Yeah, see, Nikolai, I'm clean. I'm clean. Positive good. That's right. Positive. I've been clean. And Vince didn't know what to say. He had to leave. He had to come back and go, Sheik, they found cocaine in your system.
Positive.
Seriously? He's like, seriously? He's like, I must have gotten it from Harley Race. That's what he said. I got to fire you, Sheik. I mean, how many times he got fired? Oh, my God. There was a betting pool when I was there. When he was going to get fired, he lasted like 6 months. Him and Marty Jannetty. Well, Marty Jannetty was sleeping in the locker rooms, and Bob Holly yelled at him, said, dude, get up. They see us sleeping in the lockers. We're all going to get drug tested. That's what happens. Yeah. He was yelling at him. So, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I'm losing my voice. I'm losing my mind up in here. So I appreciate each and every one. Guys, thanks for commenting. Thanks for joining on the show. Steve, thank you. Ethan, thank you. Guys, I was kind of coming at this. I had this mindset. Am I going to be doing this alone? What's going to be happening? I was going to crack some jokes, but
We ruined it.
I ruined it. Yeah, I was just gonna make. Well, if you're podcasting by yourself, other guys do it all the time. But I don't mind just talking. And I was just talking. I just went on this whole thing about the stadium and how we got here. It's guys, you got to remember how we got here. Don't start the story in the middle. Yeah, we stunk since 1999. Why? How? How do we get out of it? You want to hang your head and kick rocks? Go ahead. I'm hitting the gym. So there we go. Lou and Steve, you guys are great. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, Drew. Thanks for joining me.
Drew.
Thanks, Drew. Take it easy, man. We love you guys. Thank you to each and every one of you. Hey, don't forget, we'll be back next week. Always have a great time. Have a great week, guys. And always remember when the river burns, it always burns brown and orange. Have a great night. Yeah, minute 45, 1 hour, 45-minute clip. Oh, yeah, you went long.
9:30 or 9:40. I hopped on somewhere around there.
Was it?